Hey, I'm Devin Allen at the BMA for the hip hop show. Hope you love it. I wanted to sit down with some of my friends and family, just talk about the culture, the influence of hip hop in Baltimore. Be here at the BMA, hip hop show dropping soon, and this is part of that activation. And I wanted to sit down with some of my favorite people that I know are big hip hop fans. Now, we sitting here, who am I sitting here with?
Kondwani Fidel.
And what do you do?
I'm a professor at Coppin State University. I'm an author. I'm a spoken word poet. I think that kind of sum it up.
Right. So, so we at the BMA, and I wanted to sit down with people, talk about hip hop, but also talk about Baltimore, right? And we're not that far off from age, so it's like we have a lot of the same music preferences and hip hop and rappers. Now, what was your earliest hip hop? I talked to D earlier. I was telling him about my Master P, The Last Dawn, and I had it in my boombox. And then I remember like certain songs would come on. I had the boombox. I would have to record them because my mother wouldn't get them for me. Mm-hmm. So like, what was your earliest like hip hop moment? Like when you heard your first rap song, you was like, yo, this is a part of me,
So I grew up on rap. My uncle and the people in my neighborhood, we grew up on 3 6 Mafia, Project Pat, a little bit of Jay-Z, Pac, Biggie, but the first time that I can remember me like falling like deeply in love with music was like elementary, middle school with Boosie, right? And if you showed me a map back then, I probably couldn't point out where Louisiana, let alone Baton Rouge is. But it's this little guy with this squeaky voice, with this big personality, in a different place from Baltimore, that's like speaking about my struggle, my relationships with my parents and my family, and that fork in the road. You want to go right, but somehow you always end up going left. And I think that, he just made it feel okay to be human. You know what I mean? Because we come up, you don't got time to cry as a boy, as a young male. You ain't got time to cry and talk about your feelings. Don't nobody care how you feel inside. Don't nobody care how you feel inside. So right. I think that he was one of those first vessels that really made me feel okay to be like, all right, you gonna make it through. You good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yo, I was just talking about that. Boosie, like summertime. I got Boosie. I actually had a Boosie fade. Like Boosie used to wear that fade. I cut it all the way to the top. Boosie was like, kind of like my Tupac, low key, like growing up, bumping through the block and everything, and that's what hip hop is. It's like in our DNA. It's a part of everyday life. Let's talk about that because like a lot of times hip hop, a lot of times you remember like the beginning of that Bone Thugs and Harmony song. We're not against rap. We're against, they try to like, it's like been demonized and they saying that people kill people because of the music they listen to hip hop and it does influence us all. But just like let's talk about how like it's just a part of our DNA and it's you talk about Boosie talks about the struggle that we live and what we go through, but it make us happy, make us feel good. We feel seen, we feel heard. Let's talk about that.
Yo, the black community in America is like the only community in the world where we subscribe to what we're born into and it gets demonized. We literally, like my homeboy Tarek say, okay, if rap music is the reason behind all of this murder and crime, then what was Christopher Columbus listening to? Because rap ain't exist back then. What he say, genocide or die trying? Like what was he listening to back then? Right? Mozart, I don't know. Right? But like so they need a scapegoat every few years to keep us in these places so they can say, oh, it's rap music, oh, it's the video games, oh, it's this, and it's like, no, it's systemic oppression, it's poverty. You know what I mean? And I know for me, it's like, and I can probably speak for a lot of us, right? Like who else is speaking this language on a TV, on a large scale? It's not the politicians, right? It's not the president. It's not, the lawyers or doctors. These is like the only people that's speaking our language. So of course we're gonna gravitate towards our reality, right? Like you take photos, right? So what representation means and what it stands for, right? We need those mirrors. So if we got people, whether it's a female, a male, somebody in Texas, somebody over West Baltimore, wherever, you're gonna listen or see it and be like, okay, let me, keep my ear closer to that and see what's going on. And these lyrics, raise you in a sense, right? Like, I was raised by 3 grandmothers, love them to death. Like, they the reason I am who I am today. But there's certain lessons that they couldn't teach me about being a male. And where my father lacked, I learned some of that shit through music, bro. Like through Jay-Z, through Nas, through Boosie, through Wayne. Like, I learned, like, they literally helped me get through life for real. And I think that we don't see that in the mainstream like that for real.
Yeah. And that's interesting. We talk about this a lot, and I love the fact that hip hop is starting to get recognized in the academic space. When you think about rappers, a lot of people just think it's just music, but it's, they're storytellers, they're poets, they are amazing artists. Like you said, you've learned life through lyrics. I talked earlier to Nate and to Nathan about, how you can listen to Kanye West and then find out he got a sample of Nina Simone and Girl Scout Heron, and you go back and listen to them, and that's what they were doing. You are a professor, and we talk about this studying of lyrics. You got Bun B, that he's a professor in hip hop, and I believe Play from Kid to Play also is a hip hop professor. He teaches these things, and they might not see us as the geniuses that we are, but hip hop rappers and the way they intertwine words and tell stories. Let's talk about the importance of studying lyrics in the academic space.
It's important because it's just as important as any other biblical scripture, right? Like proverb, poetry, right? Like it's the same, but it's just a modern day version. And just like basketball, like people elevate the game, right? Like in any sport, anything, like people elevate, people grow, right? So you got the Shakespeares of the world, right? And he was doing this thing back then, but he can't touch Jay-Z. I don't care what you're talking about. And I failed a Shakespeare class in college because I had this professor named Mr. Holmes, and he swore that Hamlet was the best thing written by man, and he just thought that Shakespeare was the illest. And I said something slick. I said, Jay-Z can write Hamlet, but like Shakespeare can't make Big Pimpin' or something like that. And the whole class bust out laughing. They straight gave me a D. I'm like, whatever. But again, again, it's just because it's us. Like, we like poetry as Americans. We like poetry. We like fiction. We like, but if it's a made up story about something in our community, then it's just, I don't want my kids reading that. Critical race theory, yup. We need to take that out to schools, right? But they love these stories, like these Shakespeare stories. What's the difference between Paid in Full and a Shakespeare book? People is having sex with people they shouldn't be. You killing your cousin. You lying to your brother. You getting money over here, stealing coins or whatever. Like it's the same. Is it not the same storyline?
Yes,
but it's just because it's us, bro. It's just because it's us. That's
Facts,
it.
But you can see how hip-hop has seeped into other cultures. It's a worldwide phenomenon. If you ask me, I would say hip-hop is probably one of the biggest genres of music in the world.
And it's the fastest growing. It is.
So let's just talk about, just hip-hop. And, it's like we talked about intertwining our life. It needs to be in the academic space now. And it's constantly growing and changing. But like, even when you look at just fashion, in the fact that people emulate, they want to walk black, talk black, and wear their hair, because of hip hop. Let's talk about that influence on the world. I've been able to travel and seen the impact.
Yo, I would never forget. I'm gonna go home then abroad. So I remember when Jay-Z dropped Kingdom Come, right? And he had 30s the new 20s, right? And basically, he's saying like, I'm older now. We don't wear the jerseys no more. We wearing button-ups. Man, me and my cousin Avon put all our jerseys and jeans in a trash bag and tucked in the closet. And we went out church clothes outside because Jay-Z said we gotta wear buttons now because we grown looking crazy. Even 50 Cent, right? He really got us running around the hood with G-Unit beaters and drinking vitamin water. I don't even drink vitamin water. You know what I mean? And I never forget. We went to Jamaica, a few months ago, and I'm there, right? And all of the Jamaicans, they got shirts like with American rap slang on there, dope boy this, rich gang this, and we walk in there, they like hookah, Casamigos, and they playing the Lord Babies, the Dirks, the Pox, and I'm like, nigga, I came to Jamaica to hear Jamaican music, not to be a sangria. Like I want to listen to something that I don't even know what's. I just want, you know what I mean? But it's like we influence a lot of people when you see it, and you can probably even attest to that. Like traveling to Asia a lot, right? And I never been, but I've been to, you know, different countries and, you know, some places around the world where our stuff stretches so far beyond like some people's, you know, comprehension for real.
Yeah. So, you know, we talked about the Boosies, the Waynes. Yo, let's say, I'm trying to think of somebody dope. Let's say you got Toni Morrison in your car. Rest in peace to the GOAT. You got Toni Morrison in the car, right? You riding around, and she's like, yo, you got one song to pick. One song from Baltimore. You know,
From Baltimore?
It got to be from Baltimore. You know, DDM talked about, Smash, and D brought up, you know, Moose. But you got one song, and I know you love Toni Morrison, that's why I put you in the car with her. But you got one song to play her. You got the aux cord or the Bluetooth. What you playing for Toni Morrison in your car? It got to be from Baltimore. A hip hop song. Got to be a Baltimore artist.
Do Pac count?
I give you Pac. I give you Pac because he went to Baltimore School of the Arts. I give you Pac. I can give you Pac. He used to live on Greenmount. We'll give you that.
I'm gonna go two. I'm gonna go Young Moose, the song called OTM, and I'm going Tupac, Until the End of Times.
Can you spit a bar from it? From one of the songs?
I can't.
You can't.
Nah, I would have to like hear it or something. But I know. Like if I know a song, I know a song.
All right, give me your favorite bar before you leave the stage. Your favorite rap bar that it lives in your mind rent free.
Easy. Jay-Z, Freemason. Niggas couldn't do nothing with me. They put the devil on me. I'd have preferred niggas to squeeze the metal on me. Rumors of Lucifer. I don't know who to trust. Whole world want my demise. Turn the music up. Hear me clearly. If y'all niggas fear me, just say y'all fear me. All these fairy tales, go to hell, this is God engineering. This is a Hail Mary pass, y'all interfering. He without sin shall cast the first stone, so y'all look in the mirror, double check y'all appearance. Bitch, I said I was amazing. Not that I'm a Mason, it's amazing that I made it through this maze that I was in. Lord forgive him, I never would have made it without sin. Holy water is facing the basin. Diamonds in my rosary shows he forgave him. Bitch, I'm red hot. I'm on my third six, but a devil I'm not. Come on, y'all. That's hard. That's hard. That's hard.
Jay-Z,
that's my favorite J-Boats. Best of all time.
Yo, appreciate you, bro. Thanks for coming through.
Alrighty, bro.
Most definitely.
Alrighty, for
Kondwani Fidel, man.
Sure. Thank you.